Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wirecast Live. Today is Thursday, August 18th, and this is episode 15, Wirecast Ask Me Anything. I'm your host, Andrew Haley, and I'm the product evangelist for our live streaming software, Wirecast, and as well as our ScreenFlow product, which is our video editor for Mac and Screencaster. So if you're new to the show, welcome. We're glad to have you here. This is where we basically spend anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, maybe sometimes a little longer, just talking about Wirecast. We do this every Thursday from 2:30 to approximately 3:30 Pacific time. And it's just a place where you can come, hang out, ask questions. We cover different topics related to Wirecast and live streaming in general. We also bring on power users and power guests and interview them that way, as well as our partners that help make this software happen. So Wirecast is one of those pieces of software that is so flexible and so versatile and does so many different things and can be used for so many different purposes that we find ourselves working with a lot of different companies and a lot of different partners. So this is one of those places where we like to come on and basically bring all that together into one place where we can talk about just whatever topics seem to be relevant to you guys or answer your questions, or in the general live streaming space. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. There are past episodes which you can find in the Facebook videos section. We also post our archives to our Wirecast 2 page on YouTube. So look for those there. Lots of great stuff from past episodes. I highly recommend checking those out, particularly if you want to learn a lot about Wirecast or get better as a Wirecast user. We often dive deep into hands-on tutorials, and Wirecast is a very, again, complex and versatile software, so there's a lot you can do with it, and certainly no one person knows it all. All right, well, last show, we had a great show last week. That was, I'm actually blanking on sorry, virtual sets, thank you. Last show, we did virtual sets, and before that, I just saw Steven's name. Steven Haywood hosted our previous show with Marty McPadden, and that was another great episode as well. So go back and check those out. They're lots of fun. Today, I'm just here to answer your questions. If you have them, please type them into the comments section on the Facebook page, and I will take those live. You can also tweet at us at Wirecast, and we will try to grab those tweets. In the meantime, if you're watching live on Facebook, please just type in the comment section. I did bring some questions that some users had from, we did a webinar last week. It was really successful, and a lot of people had questions about Wirecast, so I'm going to pull some of those questions in just to get us started. So the first question is, is there a way to disable a stream that is being streamed from Wirecast on Facebook? So is there any way to easily disable your streams? The quickest way to disable your stream is to stop streaming. Hit the stream button. If you want to individually turn off a stream, you can do that in the Wirecast menu section. So I've got my desktop here, and it's going to be the best way to show you how to do things as we go through questions like this. I'm going to open the Wirecast welcome window and open a brand new document. And yeah, these buttons at the top here are going to kill or start your stream. And this will kill or stop any records that are going to your local hard drive or to a hard drive attached to your computer. And these will stop any ISO. This button will stop any ISO records or replays and so forth. So we're going to start with this one. Let's say you have multiple destinations. I'm going to add a YouTube destination, and then maybe add another one. We will just choose, say, a Microsoft, or maybe Ustream here. Hit OK. And if you had these authenticated and configured, I'm just going to start there. You'll find them under the output, under the broadcasting section here. And let me zoom in so you can see this. So you can individually start and stop each one of these. So you can start YouTube and Ustream. If they were going, you could then, this would also be a stop. So you can individually turn off each stream or output depending on which menu or submenu you go to. Okay? That's probably, hopefully answers that user's question. Another question that had was, will Wirecast Go be available for Android streaming? That is a great question. It's one that we get quite frequently. If you're not familiar with Wirecast Go, let me show you. Actually, it's not going to pop up here. Let's go to our website. Just a second. It'll show up in the mobile app store for your iOS device, but it's not going to show on the Mac app store. Wirecast Go is one of our products that is a mobile streaming client and encoder, and allows you to do some basic switching and add elements and things like that. So it works really well. It's very simple. It's got 3 layers. Wirecast, of course, has anywhere from 5 to 250. So you can do a lot more with the hardware of a computer. But this definitely gives you basic layering, which is great, repositioning and so forth, and you can easily stream to YouTube or to a custom RTMP. The basic version is free, and then I think you can upgrade for like $6 to get all the features. So this is a great app, and it's super easy to use, and people use it to stream to YouTube from their phones. It's very nice. So I recommend checking that out. And the question was, will it be available for Android? At the moment, it's just iOS for iPads, iPhones, and iPods. And Android is definitely coming in this application's future, but I don't have a date for you. So we will, it'll be ready when it's ready. At this time, though, there's not like an imminent Android release coming. So if you're an Android user, sorry, you're out of luck on this one for now. But we'll definitely come to Android at some point in this product's life cycle. All right, I see we have a couple questions on the Facebook chat here. So Valentin, I'm sorry if I'm messing your name up. Can you insert a video file live and stream it? And how do you start and stop the video? This is a good question. So yes, you can. That's the quick answer. You would simply add a media file. So just go down here, add a media file, and choose a movie of some kind. So I've got this little video I did earlier of an animation. It's a very short little animation file. It's about 2 seconds long. I'm going to add this in. So we've got this video file right here. I'll just click stream. It's just got this, our ScreenFlow logo bouncing up and down. So you can take this live, and this, once it's on the right here, this is streaming live, and it'll just keep looping if that's what we're doing. Now, if you want to stop, I'm just going to stop the preview on the left. This is just for me. This is just for my viewing, and this is the preview window. So I can get the next shot ready if I was going to go, say, to my webcam. Actually, not web stream, my webcam. So if I added, say, that shot here, and it's super small, let's make it a little bit larger. And let's go 1920 by 1080 there. Okay, and then bring this up to fit. Okay, so that's, say, my other camera, which is just right here on my computer. And if I wanted to, get that ready to go live, then that's what my preview windows here is for, right? So I can see what's happening on the left here, and only I can see it, whereas my audience has continued to see this. Now, if I want to pause it live, the easiest way is up under the media menu. You've got these shortcuts. So you can start or pause all playing movies. So if you use the Shift Command P on Windows, I think it's Shift Control P, then this video will pause. So why don't we just do that keystroke real fast. Shift Command P, and then it just pauses the video. So let me zoom out there, just so you can see again. This is just our live view. Let's hit Command P again. Hold on. We're going to go back to Command P to start playing it. It's going to start looping. And Command Shift P pauses it. Command P begins playing it again. So if you need to pause anything, let's say I was doing a movie review live, and I wanted to talk about something or a video file, I could pause it, and let's just layer this down. And we're going to go back here. And I'm going to add a chroma key here. Let's go to my output menu. Sorry, no, hold on. Go to my chroma key menu here. Use chroma key. I'm just going to chroma key myself out really quick. I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to scale myself down just a little bit. So So, if I'm a movie reviewer or somebody like that, and I throw this on and I take everything live, now let's go look at the live window. This is what my audience sees right there. So let's just make that full screen. Now I can be talking about this ball that's bouncing, right there. I'm getting cut off right there. So the ball's bouncing right there. And when I want to pause it or whatever, I just use those commands and pause the video and then talk about it and say, well, this is when the ball reaches the bottom. And now let's watch the next part of the movie and just start playing it again. So that is how you're doing it. That's how I'm pausing this video live in my live view in Wirecast using these commands up here. Okay? So that is as far as pausing. Now let's say you want the movie to go live without automatically playing. Well, here's where we're going to go. So if I take this video live again, and then just bring this up a little, and you'll see, let's pull this up. It's going to start playing the minute it comes live again. That's the setting that we've natively set it at. Now, to change that, you can change it so that when it goes live, it doesn't immediately start playing. You could have it so that it only starts playing when you hit that media command, start playing all movies right there. So let's just, in order to do that, we need to change the settings for this media file. We go into the shot inspector here, and we're going to jump over to the properties tab, and then you've got these two little check boxes. Begin playing when media becomes live. If this is checked, then every time that movie goes live, it will begin playing. So if I uncheck that, then what's going to happen is when I take this live, it's going to be paused until I begin playing it. Does that make sense? And so if I take it off, and I take it off, I can bring it back on. And again, it's not going to start playing, and it's going to remember the spot that it was last at, right? So if I do that there, then it'll come back on in its previous position. That's because the second box is still checked, the remember position when not live. That's really like a resume box. It's going to resume from its previous play position. If this is unchecked, then it'll start every time from the beginning. So I like these Ask Me Anything sessions or just these questions because they lead to interesting parts of the software that I wouldn't necessarily think of to talk about as a topic in and of themselves. But, obviously you can see there's some complex, subtle settings here that are going to affect a lot of users who need certain types of workflows. So knowing exactly what these checkboxes do and then giving me time to demonstrate them is why we do this show every week, because it really gives me a chance to dive in a little bit. So just to complete our example here, let's say we take it off. Now remember, both of these checkboxes are unchecked, which means it will not only begin playing, it'll pause, but it's going to start from the beginning. So we're going to bring it live. Nothing's happened. It hasn't started playing but it started from the beginning. And we hit the Command P, and it will start looping through the video. And of course, the loop command is also up here. If you want a video to just be done playing, or to pause when it's done, or to remove itself when it's done, those are here as well. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how that works. I'm going to take these off so they aren't distracting. And let's go to our next question. That's great questions. No problem, Valentine. I'm glad I was able to help you there. So do you have to authenticate every time to Facebook? No, you don't. If you have your settings saved, if you've logged in, authenticated to Facebook one time and saved your project, then the next time you open it, it should remember that your Facebook initials and accounts, and you should be logged back in. If for any reason you aren't, then it's pretty simple to do that, but you should be able to should remember it from session to session. Okay. Richard asks, any solutions that add a countdown timer to the stream? For our last webcast, we used timeanddate.com, and you made a counter online. Yes, actually, there are now timing solutions that are basically part of Wirecast, but you need to upgrade in the software. So this is part of our partners' feature software, and I'm not enough of an expert at this point to be able to do this. But maybe Deborah Lee, or if you're in the control room, if you want to add a timing shot, and I can use it as a teaching example up in the upper corner. I'm just going to show folks where that would be found. So yeah, no problem. Just do it when you're ready, and I'm going to go through where this is. So we, in Wirecast 7, partnered with our great partners over at New Blue FX, and we bundled our software together. So Wirecast 7 comes with a free copy of Titler Live Express, and that is a great live titling software. So if you have Wirecast 7, you have free access to this software called Titler Live. And there it is right there. I'm going to add it. And what this does is it launches the New Blue software, which is a separate software, but works hand in hand with Wirecast. And in their more advanced features, their more advanced versions, I'm just going to launch this. You have the ability to create timers. So under their templates here, and I think I just have Titler Live Express here. Let me just verify that. Yeah, I just have the Express version, so I don't have the ability to make a timer here until I put a full version on here. But in the Titler Live Advanced software, you can basically create your own timers and clocks. And let me show you what version that's in. We go to... let's see, hold on. I think you can, I'm not sure if we've pushed this yet. If we go to upgrade, we're gonna go to this software here. Okay, so pretty soon you'll be able to just upgrade your software, your New Blue software, right in the cart in Wirecast. But in the meantime, if you want to go to here, our website, go to telestream.net and click on, then go to Wirecast. Click on features. And under our New Blue section of our website, which is right, where is it? Here we go. Titles and graphics. So this is at telestream.net/wirecast/New Blue. There is an overview of each one. And starting with, I believe, Titler Live Advance, you get the ability to do timers. So why don't we are you ready, Deborah Lee? You want to throw one on screen? Go ahead. So here's a timer that's coming out of our New Blue software on our Wirecast broadcast machine. And when she's ready, she can start it, and it will start to count down. There we go. So that's how you can do it. And you can create custom titles or custom timers anywhere in the software. You can start or stop them, and you can make them be any duration that you want, and so forth. So that software is really great. That is the closest thing we have to a native timer in the software. So that's available through the New Blue software. And you will need Titler Live Advance or greater, or need to upgrade to those. Which you can do at telestream.net. Hope that answers your question. All right, so next, this one comes from Jorge Velasquez. He's saying the audio keeps dropping out. So I'm sorry if our audio is dropping out. Maybe I need to talk louder? Really? You should just up my audio on the board. And then maybe the sliders in Wirecast, make sure they're normally at 0. Okay, so the audio shouldn't be dropping out, but I apologize if it is. We do post a full version of this on YouTube, so you will have the ability to watch the full version in full quality if anything's not coming through. All right, so the next question comes, how often does Wirecast update? How often do we update Wirecast? That's a good question. We released an upgrade, a major upgrade, version 7, at the beginning of July, just before, end of June. And that was the first major version upgrade. We went from 6 to 7, and when we released Wirecast 6, it was November of 2014, I want to say. So it was almost 18 months prior. That was probably the longest we've ever gone between releases, major upgrades. In between then, we updated like 12 times. So there were 12 versions of Wirecast 6, and those were free. And so if you look at it that way, we were releasing an update about once a month or so. I would say with Wirecast 7, we probably won't do once a month. In fact, I don't think we've be able to quite hit that, but about every month and a half would be a good guess in terms of how often we'll release an update. So 7.1 should be out sometime in the next not too long. And so we'll be updating Wirecast. We've already done one update for it, Wirecast 7.0.1. And so we'll be moving to 7.1 shortly. So yeah, about every month and a half, we push out a new update with fixes and improvements. And then every year or a year and a half or so, we push out a major new upgrade with lots of new features. Okay. Hi, Mario. Welcome. So Wirecast 7 titles always relocate, even though the profile was saved. Also, are there respect aspect ratio? Is there a respect aspect ratio option? So Mario, I'm not quite sure how you're making your titles. If you're just using the basic versions, like if we say add a title or right here, and if I want to add one of the standard titles here and change them, let's just go to this guy. And if we, if that position's good, let's even move it a little bit. We'll select all. We say move this down here to the corner a little bit more and bring it on. And then we bring this guy on as well. And we save that. And I'll save that to the desktop. Then if we quit Wirecast and go to open it again, it should be in the same position. And it looks like it is. So it's still in the lower left corner. And I'm not showing that it's shifted or moved position. So if that's how you're creating your titles and how you're saving them, then I don't see any problems there. But if you have something else, please let us know or contact our support team at telestream.net and they can help you. It's always helpful if you make a video or something like that. If you're on Mac, ScreenFlow, our other software is great for that. You can make a quick video and show what you did using that software. So you just launch it and you can point it at, say, the this monitor and hit record. And then when you're done, you show us what the problem is. You say like, well, when I take this off and then I put it back on and then I hit the Command P button, something's wrong. You can basically demo it for us. And then you just stop recording and just cut out any of the parts that aren't necessary. But you have basically a recording of everything that you just did. So if I just cut that part out, then you can basically send that to us and we'll be able to see exactly what you're talking about and as far as it being a bug or an error. So screen recording or a little MP4 movie is great. And then, just to finish the process here, you can export a little ScreenFlow, Wirecast bug, MP4 and export it to the desktop. And it'll just pop right out, and you can send us a link to that or upload it to a private YouTube page or wherever, and we can watch that. And then if there's a valid bug that you've got, we can either help you troubleshoot it or report it to our engineering team. So that is a lot of bug, a lot of teams, engineering teams like that software specifically because of that feature. They can share video of actions occurring on screen that is just a lot faster than trying to write it all down and describe it. Okay, so that is our hopefully answers that question, Mario. Let's go to our next question, which was from a previous user. This customer had a kind of a more specific question. Is it possible to add lyrics at the bottom of the screen? Is it possible to put in graphics, titles, or anything like song words or subtitles or something at the bottom of the screen? And yes, it absolutely is. You can start by using our new text scroll feature. And I think Deborah Lee will, yeah, there we go. So right at the bottom of the screen here, you can see we're just using our live title or text to scroll across the screen. This is a great place to put song lyrics or words to anything you want people to follow along with. So the scroll is great. Let's just show you how that works a little bit in case you don't know how to do that. So we're just going to add a standard text source. And I'm going to make it a new one. And I'm just going to say this is, song that never ends. Now, of course, you can add a file. If you have a simple TXT file, you can add that. We also have the ability to bring in RSS feeds. So this is the song that never ends. And that's just the text that I'm going to be scrolling across the screen. And as far as the background of the transparent, I want it to be transparent. The way to do that is to make sure that this slider is all the way at the bottom, at the left. This is your transparency. This is the color. So if I wanted, say, a red background, that's easy. I can do that. Now you can see the box is red, and so the text also has a red box around it, which can be cool, but I don't want that. I want just a transparent. So I'm going to go like this and drag it all the way to the left. And now I want to also make it a scroll or a crawl. I'm going to scroll it from the left to the right, maybe right to left, and then I'm going to choose the speed as well. I also want to maybe have the width be at least as wide as my screen. So let's change that to 1920. And the height should be, really doesn't matter too much here, but we could make the height at least large enough for the text. Let's make it 200. Okay, and then the next thing to do is make sure that the text itself is large enough. So the font size could be, say, 48 or whatever you want it to be. All right, so I've set the settings the way I want them. Going to bring that in, and now I've got this handy layer element that's going to scroll across the screen. If I want to change anything, I can change the speed up. Let's make it 100 pixels a second. And this file can be as long as you want, so it can keep going. In fact, you can copy and paste if there's repeating verses. Okay, hope that makes sense. That's how it's done. I think this song is wrapping because at the end here. So you may need to make the width much longer if you have a very long continuous scroll that you want to keep rolling. keep that in mind. All right, I think that answers questions as far as putting lyrics thing. Of course, the New Blue software is great for this kind of thing as well, and you can also do a lot more with text on the screen, scrolls, crawls, and so forth. All right, maybe let's take a couple more questions. And I see that Valentin, you have typed in another one with the timer on the screen and the live. Will the can you get the streaming to start automatically? You could, but not directly in Wirecast. You can build a program that will tell Wirecast when to start and when to stop. And there are other companies and people out there that have built those little extra tools or solutions. Wirecast has a free API library that comes with it when you install the software, and you can send it commands to, when to start broadcasting, when to stop, and so forth. You would just need to tie that to a calendar or a timer app. We haven't built in any broadcasting scheduling, and we haven't obviously built in a timer feature either. So if you want to use the timer, it's going to be unrelated to whether or not you start or stop a broadcast. But that's a great feature as well. But for now, we haven't linked those two together at all. So you would need to do that on your own outside of the features that we're providing. It's certainly possible, and people do it. It's just not in the software itself. So there's nothing I can show you right here that could tell you how to do that. Let's see. Steven, are there any plans to add a transcription or closed captioning function in the future? There certainly are. Telestream does a great job, has some with captions, and recently won an Emmy Award actually for some of the work that people who joined the company have done in captions. So we have a strong captioning background and areas of the company that do that very well, and just hasn't made sense to bring it into Wirecast just yet, but I don't see that not happening, if that makes sense. I think that will definitely happen at some point, but I have no definite dates, and I've not heard of any specific plans to launch closed captioning or embedded captions. But that being said, I would fully expect it within the next couple years or something. It just depends. Scrolling, let's see. So the scrolling text, in theory, this is again from Steven, would be how you'd create a ticker, like an ESPN ticker at the bottom. Is there any way to say import a ticker information from somewhere else? There absolutely is, and that is where this RSS feeds comes in. And I don't have a handy demo for you, but I'll need to, maybe I can do that actually. Let's discover together, Steven, if I can pull in just a free RSS feed. So let's maybe look up like what is NPR RSS URL. Okay, so if we go to the NPR RSS, this guy's asking like, where can I find an RSS? Paste the URL of a topic page, a program page, or a story page into your RSS feeder. So we can go back to, say, here. And let's say we want all things considered to be our RSS feed, right? I'm going to guess that this is going to work. We're going to see here. Page not found. Let's go Amelia Earhart. Hold on here. Let's try this again. Let's go to npr.com. Let's go to programs and podcasts. We're going to choose all things considered. We're going to take this guy, take that URL. We're going to go down to Wirecast and paste the URL there and hit return. We're going to see if we get anything. Okay, so that specifically didn't work. I'm certainly not seeing it. But let's try something else. Let's try. Let's try somebody's recommendation here. Reuters. There we go. So here's some good URLs. Let's grab, say, company news. Okay, we're going to go back to Wirecast. We'll try this URL. There we go. So this gives us a real-time feed of anything that's happening at this RSS feed. Now, it looks like it's wrapped quite a bit longer, so we might want to make the length quite a bit longer. Let's try making it, I don't know, 10,000? Still, okay, 3,000 was our limit. Let's go for 200. Let's say 100. There we go. So that's giving us a real-time RSS feed. It looks like it's a it's being wrapped. We may need to change the line wrap, turn that off. There we go. We don't want to line wrap, so everything just comes out normally. Let's, again, take this down to like 1920. There we go. And that's an RSS feed, so you can pull in real-time news that way into Wirecast. Pretty cool. Real-time earnings reports. Let's speed it up a little. Awesome. There you go. So it's a great way to bring in real-time, up-to-date news or feeds right into your broadcasts or into Wirecast. And of course, depending on the RSS feed that you subscribe to, you're going to get different news. So if we say jump down from business to the environment, that's going to change as well. Oh. There we go. So now we're getting news on California wildfires and, from Los Angeles and so forth. So pretty cool. That might be something we could bring into this show as well. Bring in some technology feeds, or if we have other news to show there. But yeah, that's a really cool new feature of Wirecast 7. So I'm glad we took a little time to explore that, because I actually hadn't done it myself up till now. I knew that it was technically possible, but it just took that extra step of going out and actually finding an RSS feed that I wanted to plug in here, and then you got to format it and do that. But it looks totally possible, and it's pretty neat. All right, you guys, I think we're going to stop there for today. That was a lot of great questions. Steve, no problems. Glad that this is helpful for you guys. Valentine, thanks for tuning in, and everybody else, Mario, and the rest of you. So we'll see you next week for episode 15. And thanks again for joining us. Episode 16, sorry. Yeah, today was episode 15. So next week, episode 16. All right, I'll talk with you guys then.